Today we're going to be covering how to effectively cross that soccer ball. To start, when making a cross from the wing, often the best area to cross the ball into is referred to as the danger zone. The danger area is between the 6-yard box and the penalty spot. A cross into the danger area is often too far in front of the goalie for him or her to react quick enough to grab the ball, and this area is often behind the back line, the line across the field the defenders make, which places defenders in the compromised and risky position of having their bodies facing the net when attempting to clear across. The 2018 World Cup saw the most own goals ever scored in a World Cup because the players crossing the ball were so precise at delivering the ball into the danger zone. Keep in mind that the positioning of players is always changing. However, a cross into the danger zone is often a much higher probability cross than other crosses. Make sure your teammates know this is where most of your crosses will be, so they will give the effort to ensure they are in front of the net to score. One player that does a fantastic job of crossing the ball consistently into the danger zone is Kevin De Bruyne, who plays for Manchester City and the Belgium National Team. Tip number 2, next. Driven crosses, also known as fast crosses, leave the goalie less time to react, but leave less time for a teammate to respond to. Generally, when you play a driven ball into the box, you want to play it no higher than waist level because it will be going too fast for a teammate to head the ball consistently. Additionally, driving it closer to the ground increases the chances that even if it is not an accurate pass, it may take a deflection and settle perfectly for a teammate to score or deflect off one of their defenders and into their own net. Another cross to consider is the bent/curved cross. Bent/curved crosses make it harder for the goalie to judge where the ball will be, but it also makes it harder for a teammate to decide where the ball will be as well. A bent/curved cross will likely need to be lofted and is a great cross for teammates to score off a header. Now notice my form here where I'm keeping my head down in order to keep my form together so that that ball can get lofted in the air, bent, and someone on my team can end up at the end of that cross. Now, comment below what your favorite style of cross is, whether it be a driven cross or a bent cross. Personally, it's very game dependent on which one I use, but more often than not, I'm using a bent cross to give my teammates time to accurately get on the end of that cross. Now, the first thing to avoid when crossing the ball is you've got to look and you've got to see where your teammate is. If he's the nearest one to you or she's the nearest one to you, then playing that ball in the air doesn't make much sense. Leave it on the ground, make it easy for them to take a one-time shot where the ball's on the ground, and you're gonna have a lot more success with that. So, if they are behind a different defender, then you're gonna have to loft it in the air, get it over that defender so that they can do something and shoot or head the ball. But if they're the one closest to you, don't make it harder than it is. Play it on the ground and they can quickly receive it and have a one-time strike or even take an attacking touch and then shoot the ball. And then you'll be able to get that assist. All right, that second thing to avoid is making one of those 30 or 40-yard crosses where your teammate is open, but because the ball takes so much time to get there that they're gonna be covered when that ball arrives. So you basically turned what was 100% possession for you into a 50-50 shot for your teammate to receive the ball. So avoid crossing the ball long distances unless your teammate is very, very open or you're playing ahead of them and they're running into space. Now, the third thing to avoid is crossing the ball into the box when it's pretty obvious that the goalie is going to be able to catch it. Now, why would we want to not cross the ball into the box in this situation? Well, think about it. You're maybe a striker or a winger, outside midfielder. You're going across the flank trying to cross the ball in. There's maybe 3-4 other people on your team in the box, maybe a midfielder or two that's atop the 18-yard box, and now you just crossed it in right to their goalkeeper's hands. They just grabbed it, and now they're starting a counterattack the other way. You just reduce your numbers significantly on defense by basically giving it to the only person on the field that can actually take the ball and put it in their hands and really accurately distribute it across the field. So avoid just crossing it for the purpose of crossing it, especially when that goalie will be able to get it very quickly. To work on the skill, it is best to practice it in practice. In practice, you can take time to think about what needs to be done. Make sure to do this at game speed. So many people make the mistake of practicing while the ball is perfectly stopped. Instead, as you see in what I'm doing right now, that the ball should be rolling so it's more game-like. However, use both the right and left flanks, but if you're a winger on the right side, then really spend 80 to 90% of your time on that right side. Otherwise, spend more time on the left side if you work the left flank. And remember, very important that you aim for that penalty kick line. If you want to learn more about crossing the ball to increase the number of assists you get, then grab the 4th book in the Understand Soccer series, Soccer Passing and Receiving, today on Amazon.com, using the link in the description below. All right, for that 4th tip, and that's gonna be a pro tip for this one, is that we wanna often avoid doing cross fakes. It's okay to do a shot fake and you keep possession of the ball, or even a pass fake and you pretend to pass it one way, but then you pass it another. But doing a cross fake, you're gonna fool the defender, but you're also gonna fool your teammates. So let's make this an example. Okay, we're about to cross that ball into the box. We got our defender that's really close, really tight to us. We go and we do a cross fake and pull it back. Well, all of our team is perfectly positioned right now if I had originally crossed that ball, but now that I pulled it back and then I go to do the cross, they lost all their momentum, all their speed, and that cross, no one's gonna really be able to do much with it. So make sure, avoid those cross fakes if you wanna be an effective crosser. All right, soccer squad, if you could, give me some feedback. Let me know how I can make these videos better for you in the comments below. And also, while you're in the comments, let me know if there's any topics that you want me to cover in the future. And if you could, hit that like button, as well as that subscribe icon and the bell notification icon to ensure that you don't miss any videos.